It's March and today I've got a cardio party for us. No equipment needed, so let's go. All right, killer bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving. And yes, that means we're getting started with some arm circles with high knees. And yes, I'm just gonna take a big deep breath here. I am so excited about today. I love me some cardio. And if you don't know that, it might be because you're new. Hi, I'm Paula B. I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend, and I am all about the cardio. And today is particularly a fun version of cardio, and I'm super excited about it because it's something I haven't done in a while. Okay, let me just tell you what it is. We're working in tabata intervals today. It is not a full-on tabata if you've heard that word before, and if you haven't, don't worry. Tabata is a particular kind of workout that is meant to be very high intensity. And let me just tell you straight up, today is not meant to be high intensity. It's meant to be fun, but we're working in tabata intervals, meaning that I have got my handy dandy gym boss here set for intervals of 20 seconds of work and 10 seconds of rest. And that means that today is gonna move along quickly. I haven't done this kind of work in a while. I will tell you, if you have been around for a while and you have done some of my older videos, I mean, I refer to her as Ponytail Paula because I used to have really long hair and I used to not talk at all, which is also kind of weird. But I used to do Tabata workouts all the time. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. And I love Tabata workouts, but as I got more comfortable in front of the camera and, doing workouts and talking and stuff like that, I stopped doing Tabata because Tabata is really hard to do. You do the same exercise for 8 intervals in a row. It's meant to be a very, very short, literally a 4-minute workout that is super intense because you're giving it everything you've got for the 20 seconds. Well, I kind of, I modified that and I made them, longer workouts, like 20, 25 minutes. Hey, I've always liked 20-minute workouts. But then it required me to count to the number 8. I'll tell you, I don't count that well, especially when I'm chatting. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes, because welcome to my home, I'm not sure what Blossom is kind of growling about over here. I don't even know if you can hear that. But so today I'm making this kinder and gentler on myself by doing, it's a repeating, no repeat workout. We're doing each exercise 3 times in a row because I'm pretty sure I can count to 3. But it also means that I have to stay on the game. I have to focus, I have to think. So no talking today. Can't even say that with a straight face. You know there will be talking today. You know that there will be fun to be had. In fact, I'm even wearing my fun pants today. Now you're going to ask me about these. There's a link in the description box, but it's not an affiliate link at all. I make $0.00 for telling you about this, but I happen to just love these pants. They're from a company called Ink and Burn. They are local, I mean not local, but they are made in California. It's US made, and they're not cheap, but they're really good quality, and they make the cutest styles. So you guys, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving. We're already moving. Let's go ahead and get started with our first exercise. We're doing big arm side shuffles for 20 seconds, which means that we can give it, it's not a lot of oomph. Today is meant to be moderate. Moderate is best when we are losing weight. Moderate is best at this age. But we're giving it a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of fun, because it's a party today. When it beeps, we're getting 10 seconds of rest. For me, that means that I'm probably just gonna do a little bit of tapping from side to side. I don't like to just stand still. I'm going to scoot back over here so that I can get started on my big arm side shuffle from the side. That was number 1. We're going to do that 2 more times before we move on to the next thing. So big arm side shuffles, nice and big. We're shuffling to the side, getting our hands nice and high and in a big circle right in front of us. I happen to love big arm side shuffles. And in fact, I happen to love all of the exercises. I'm not even going to start in with that. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Yeah, they're all my favorites. And then here we go with 10 seconds of rest. I stacked this one in my favor today, you guys. If you don't love cardio the way that I love cardio, today might just be one of those ones that you get through. Here's our 3rd and final interval of big arm side shuffles. When it beeps, we'll get 10 seconds of rest, and then we're going to move on to our next exercise, which I'm going to tell you right now is half jacks. We're doing half of a jumping jack, the right half, and then the left half. But if you don't love cardio, my friends, I hope that you still find something about today enjoyable, just because Just because I always do. I mean, there's really no better reason for it than that. When it beeps again, we're doing half jacks. We're on interval number 1 of 3 of half jacks. So half of a jumping jack, half of a jumping jack. Absolutely no jumping today. I don't think I mentioned that yet. We are low impact, of course. We are no transitions to the ground, all standing, no equipment. I do have a couple of squatty type things, but nothing that you can't modify and make work for you. Because my friends, here's 10 seconds of rest. You should always, always, always make the workouts work for you, for your goal, for your day, for your body, for you. Here we go with half jacks, the second of 3 times. Feeling pretty confident. Let me just tell you, I'm feeling pretty good about being able to count to 3 today. We'll see as we make our way down the list and I start chatting more about whether or not I can actually make it to 3 every time, or start doing that thing where I'm like, wait, what are we on? That was 2 of them done. Next one is the last one. And I was thinking about this, about how today's workout is such a good metaphor. Here we go with our half jacks, the third and final time. Today is kind of such a good metaphor for it being the last day of the March 7-day series. Now, if you have been working out with me for a while, you probably noticed that sometimes I do longer series, sometimes I do random videos. I tried lots of different things. I've been on YouTube 7.5 years at this point. 10 seconds of rest. When it beeps again, we're doing a reach across crunch, which is just what it sounds like. We're going to reach across and then swoop over and come up into an oblique crunch on that same side. So we're reaching across and crunching, and we're reaching across and crunching, taking it at a pace that feels, hopefully, like moderation, my friends. I have done lots of different kinds of workouts, lots of different kinds of series, lots of different kinds of content, lots of different things since I've been on YouTube. And so I just started, here's 10 seconds of rest. I just recently started, in fact, last month in February, I just started this 7-day series thing that is meant to be repeated. Here we go with a reach across crunch for the second of 3 times, hopefully. Because I already just found myself doubting that. No, we just started those last time. All right, this is the second time. See, this is the thing. I've been exercising for so many years that my mind automatically goes to, how many times have I done reach across crunch? Oh, thousands. I have no idea. Here's 10 seconds of rest. The next time is going to be the last time that I'm going to do reach across crunch. It'll be our 3rd time, whether it's actually our 3rd time or not. But the thing about these 7-day series is, here we go, with the reach across crunch for the 3rd and final time, is that they are meant to be repeated. The month is a repeating, no repeat. You are welcome at this point because I have so much content. Not all of it is going to be moderate. Not all of it is going to be appropriate for you, for your goal. Here's 10 seconds of rest, and when it beeps again, we're doing letter K. It's going to have hands up overhead, one arm and that same leg come out to one side. On one side, we're creating the letter K. Here we go. On the other side, we are not. When I am pointing to my kitchen right now, it was the letter K. On the other side, oh my gosh, I had somebody, oh, do I remember her name? I don't, and I'm sorry. Somebody left me this hilarious comment that was talking about how what we're actually doing is a spinning letter K, because on the other side, even though it doesn't look like the letter K to you on that side of the camera, if I were to turn around, it would be. It's always the letter K. It just depends on your perspective, and I loved that thought. And here we go, interval number 2 of our letter Ks. Finding myself taking this at a not exactly moderate pace, but this is the great thing about Tabata intervals, and this is actually why Tabata is quite good for you, is that 10 seconds of rest allows your body to bring your heart rate down just a little bit. Now, of course, the overall effect that we're aiming for here is moderation, especially if you are losing weight. We're not trying to go hard, we're not trying to go fast, we're just trying to have some fun. Here's our 3rd interval of letter Ks, our final interval of letter Ks. But here's the thing about a 7-day series, is that my goal for you is that you can repeat this series. Honestly, you could repeat this series for the rest of your life. That it is meant to be the exact right amount of exercise. Here's 10 seconds of rest, and coming up next, we're doing rainbow kicks. Yes, hands overhead again. We're swaying from side to side, and while they're on one side, we're kicking out that same leg. So kicking and kicking. This one, it's like an upside down ding-dongs. I do ding-dongs a lot. I don't always do rainbow kicks because this is a big motion, and I knew that it would bring the heart rate up. So this one, I'm actually taking a little bit slower, making sure that my overall effect is of moderation. Here's 10 seconds of rest, because if you are losing weight, moderation is best. Every single day, you're doing the same kind, same amount, same level of working out as every other day. Now, I know you're going to argue with me. Paula, just the other day, we did that core workout and I didn't get sweaty at all. I know. But that one involved so much brain-body connection that it was probably mentally burning as many calories as anything else that we've ever done. Here's 10 seconds of rest, and then coming up next is our last interval of those rainbow kicks. Your body doesn't only perceive exercise as exercise. You are actually burning calories every minute of every day, all the time, no matter what you are doing. So we don't worry too much about the exact calorie burn of each and every day. We think about moving our bodies in ways that feel like love, in ways that feel like self-improvement, in ways that feel moderate, and like we could do them every single day. Okay, that was 3 times, right? That was 3 times. Coming up next, we're doing low swinging tappers. Gonna have our hands a little bit lower this time. That was on purpose. Oopsies. Here we go. We're tapping from side to side and we're swinging from side to side. This is why I love a cardio party, is because I can make mistakes, because I can have trouble getting in and out of the exercises. I can have trouble counting, and none of it really matters. My friends, here's 10 seconds of rest. The great thing about working out is that we get to do it every single day. You're gonna repeat this workout. I mean, if you really are repeating the month of March, here we go with these low swinging tappers. If you really are repeating the month of March for the rest of the month, the 7-day series, you're gonna see this video several times, at least 3 times. I think the way the month of March rolls out is that you'll see it 3 times, and some of them you'll see more than that. That was 2 intervals. So you'll get to see me making mistakes. You'll get to see that we're having fun. And none of it makes that big of a difference. Here we go with those low swinging tappers that I am really having trouble getting into and out of, so I'm really glad that this is interval number 3. It is always about the cumulative effect. That day that we did that core workout, that one was a little bit lower intensity than some of our days, but it doesn't matter, because the next day we did something a little bit different but also the same. The next day we did something a little bit different but also the same. When it beeps again, you guys, we're doing crouching Ks. Okay, so we did the standing up letter Ks. This time we're doing the crouching Ks. It's a tiny little bit of a crouch, and then you're making the letter K on one side. Crouch and K on the other side. It's a crouching spinning K. Now here's the thing, you do not have to get super duper low. It's really not about the squat. If you don't like to squat, don't do well with squats, don't squat. No big deal. You could actually still just do letter Ks again. You could do something entirely different. That was interval number 1. I'm going to have to start using my counting fingers here to make sure that I'm keeping myself on track. I knew this would happen. I get involved in the workout. I get involved in telling you all about moderation and giving yourself a break and repeating no repeats, and how you're doing a great job no matter how much or how little you're doing, because you can lose weight without exercising at all, and staying moderate might feel difficult, but you're doing fabulous with it. And then I forget where I am in the workout. So that was interval number 2 of those crouching Ks. I'm just going to keep it right here. Here we go. Next one's the interval number 3, and that's our final one. Here we go. Getting little and getting big, my friends. This is why I love cardio, because it gets my heart rate up, it gets my endorphins flowing, it just feels like fun to me. And if it doesn't feel like fun to you, I'm gonna ask you to really think about why not. And that's not like a dig or a deep question. I'm really curious what it is that you don't love about it. When it beeps again, we're doing side punch step backs. We're stepping back and we're punching to the side. So we're punching, going away from the leg that is stepping back. So we're getting a really big twist and almost like a stretch in your abs. It occurred to me when I was writing this on my whiteboard that I think I called this something else sometime very recently, and that happens sometimes with exercises, that was interval number 1, where I just call it what I'm thinking of, and I might have worded it slightly different in a different workout. And I do apologize for that, because I know that might be confusing for you. Here we go with interval number 2 of those step back side punches. But at least I'm consistently inconsistent with telling you what we're doing when I name the exercises. That's pretty much always my goal, is to make it as clear as possible what we're doing, unless I'm being silly, so that you can always follow along. That was 2 intervals done. Whew, doggies, do you feel your heart rate? Make sure it comes down on these intervals of rest. And if it's not coming down and you're not being moderate, let's slow it down a little bit. Let's make it work for you. Today is meant to be moderate. Today is meant to be modifiable. This whole month is meant to be moderate, modifiable, and fun. You guys, if you are not having fun, and this is where I was going with my question, if you are not having fun, that was 3 of them. Coming up next, we're doing double knees, hands up overhead again. I'm really curious for you what it is that you don't love about it. And here's why I ask. Here we go with double knees, both hands up, bringing your hands down to one knee 2 times in a row, quickly on one side, 2 times in a row, quickly on the other side. When you can identify what it is that you don't like about something, what it is that doesn't feel right, what it is that doesn't feel like fun, it can actually help you figure out what is fun. It can help you, here's 10 seconds of rest, that was the first one done. It can help you identify what you can do in your exercise routine to be able to be consistent. I'm keeping that counting finger up. I want to make sure that we're not doing too many of these, right? This is what happened in some of my old Tabata videos. There are several exercises where we did way too many of the intervals. In fact, there's one really old workout. I'm going to get back to what I was talking about, but there's one really old workout. That was 2 of them done. This is rest. Coming up next is the 3rd interval of our double knees. I was talking, and I didn't have a timer on. I used to not wear the timer. Now I just wear the timer every day. I'm like, you know what? I know I can't count. But I was doing a plank, and we were talking about something about, core strength, something like that. And in my mind, I was like, oh, okay, that was like 30 seconds. And I was even counting it out, like, here we go, that was probably about 30 seconds. That was all 3 of them. When it beeps again, we're doing upside down jacks, starting with hands overhead. As our hands come down, doing jumping jacks, we're taking a big step out to one side. So because our hands are up, we really want to think about this pace and whether or not we can sustain it. I know you're getting rest, but also we're getting to that point in the workout, down kind of low on my list. That means that we really need to be thinking. Our heart rate's coming up no matter what. But so this allegedly 30-second plank was actually like a minute 40. It was ridiculous. Here's 10 seconds of rest. That is, between that and the Tabatas, it's why I wear a timer, and it's why I don't try and count too high anymore. Here we go with upside down jacks. That big step out to the side, really working your inner and outer thighs. We're always toning while we're doing cardio. My friends, even if we don't have something heavy in our hands, we are moving and grooving. We're getting stronger. We're getting fitter. We're reaching our fitness goals. 10 seconds of rest. Even while this is not our only focus. Fitness is a great byproduct of exercising. It is a great one of the things that we do. Here we go with our 3rd and final interval of upside down jacks with how we lose weight. But it's not how we lose weight. It's something that we do because we love ourselves. And if you don't love cardio, you don't love strength, you don't love stretching or core work or whatever it is that we do, figure out why so that you can find things that you love. My friends, when it beeps again, we're doing disco dancers. Oh, that's going to be so hard to have my counting fingers. Okay, I'm going to be quiet. No, I'm not. We're reaching up and out to one side while kicking that opposite foot, or tapping that opposite foot out on the other side, kind of reaching across your body with those disco fingers like Saturday Night Fever, using your core as we do when we're reaching across our body, when we're doing any kind of cardio, any kind of strength, any kind of anything. Here's 10 seconds of rest. Okay, disco fingers, we're just going to go for 2 when we're doing the 2nd interval. It's going to be a weird disco fingers, but it's the only way that I'm going to be able to keep track of it. My friends, when you know yourself, when you really pay attention to yourself, when you make a point of doing things that you love because you love them, that is one of the strongest connections, even stronger than your brain-body connection. Here's 10 seconds of rest, and when it beeps again, we're doing our third and final interval. It looks like I'm doing a gesture, and I'm sorry, those were both fingers, and now that looks even worse. So now this is 3. And I'm not going to point my hands at you in any manner at all for the rest of the video. My goodness. You guys, when you strengthen your connection with yourself by knowing what you love, doing what you love, and loving yourself. Sometimes that means loving yourself enough. Here's 10 seconds of rest, and when it beeps again, we're doing our last cardio exercise. It's cheerleader kicks, starting with your hands on your shoulders and going up, 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 while we kick forward. Yay! Team! Woohoo! This is meant to bring your heart rate up, as we do during cardio. And maybe that's the thing you don't love. Maybe you should go ahead and take it down a notch. You guys, moderate means anything that is not too much. And that means it's a sliding scale all the way down to not much at all. First interval is done. We've got 2 more of these. You can do cardio without getting super sweaty. You can do cardio without getting your heart rate up super high. And I know you're thinking, but Paula, the whole point of cardio is to get my heart rate up. Well, yeah, but if you hate doing it, it's not fun for you, and you don't do it very often, and therefore don't like it even more because you don't do it very often, why in the world wouldn't you make it enjoyable so that you could continue to do it? And if that means moving slower, that was 2 intervals done. If that means moving slower, then move slower. If that means sweating less, sweat less. You will get more benefit out of being consistent than you will out of anything else that we do, any 1 or 3 times. This is our 3rd interval of cheerleader kicks, my friends. When it beeps again, we are done, but you know we're not finished. I've got one final thing for us. It is the finisher of the finishers, and I love this one. It's not even balanced, but it is something that's super good for us. We're doing a full body plank. Starting with your toes. You're not actually going to squeeze your toes, but you're going to pull all of your work up into the middle of your body. You're going to squeeze, 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 pull up your pelvic muscles, pull up your core, stand up straight and tall, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your legs, squeeze your chest, squeeze your back. Hold on to it, hold on to it. You should still be able to breathe. We're pulling up, 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 squeezing. And when it beeps, we're going to breathe even more. We're going to relax. We're going to relax all those muscles. And yes, we're going to do 2 more. This full body plank is meant to help you strengthen that brain-body connection. Pull it up, 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 up. Pull up your pelvic floor, pull up your core, pull up your chest, pull up your back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Standing up straight and tall. I've got my shoulders shrugged a little bit here because I'm thinking so hard about up, 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 up. Hold on to it. You should be able to breathe. You should be able to talk if you could get a word in edgewise. Here's 10 seconds of rest. And then coming up next is our very last one. You're doing such a good job. Go ahead and relax everything. Don't push down, but now we're pulling up, 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 up. Pulling in your pelvic floor, pulling up your core, zipping up those ribs, squeezing your glutes so that your tailbone tucks under, thinking about that brain-body connection, thinking about your connection with yourself while we're doing this, thinking about how this kind of work is self-love. Oh, my friends, I'm gonna turn off my timer. That was awesome. That was awesome, and I'm super, super proud of you. Let's go ahead and do some arm circles. Let's cool this down. You guys, this was the end of day 7, and I do get a little bit emotional every time we finish one of these series. No matter how long or how short the series is, I love knowing that we together have done something really good, really fun for ourselves that we can now repeat consistently and take out into the world to get fit, to meet our weight loss goals, to meet our fitness goals, to meet our self-love goals. You guys, speaking of that, let's go ahead and stretch it out nice and wide. And then we're going to close it up. Give yourself a big hug and a pat on your fun cardio sweaty back. My friends, here on screen, I will have for you, what am I going to have for you? Well, first of all, I'm going to have the 5-0 method so that you know everything you need to know about losing weight at 50 and beyond, because I know that maybe you need that reminder. so that you can listen to the information, take it in, and really remind yourself that everything you're doing is exactly what you should be doing. And I do, of course, have a longer cool down for you too, because I know how good it feels, how much it feels like self-love to do a little bit more stretching. And you guys, make sure that you subscribe, even though I will not have a new workout for you tomorrow. When you subscribe, you get all of my workouts. It's so good to work out with you, and thank you for it. I'll see you tomorrow.